Mr. Ferris.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. I'm David Ferris, a retired police lieutenant and currently an owner and president of MetroGuard Security and Risk Management, a security guarding company in Fairfield, Connecticut. I want to inform you of my strong support for SB 370, an act concerning the conditions under which a security guard may perform duties while their license is pending. I'd especially like to thank Representatives Scott and Howard for their time spent listening, understanding, and acting on behalf of this issue. To become a security guard in Connecticut, a person must attend an approved 8-hour course at a cost of approximately $100. The person then applies with special licensing and firearms for an additional $100 plus fingerprinting fees. That individual will receive their security guard license in approximately 8 weeks if their full background is approved. During this wait time, that person can only work under the supervision of a second guard that has had their license for 1 year or more. As I support the required training and background checks, the requirement to work with a second guard during the waiting period is hurting the security industry in this state, which is already struggling with labor shortages. We are a very small security company with the vast majority of client sites having only one guard on duty at a time. I have had to turn away many applicants looking for work in the hopes that they will return in 8 weeks when they get their guard license. I have also had to turn down many potential clients seeking to hire security guards because it would be a single guard location. Not only does this prevent a person from gaining employment, but also prevents persons seeking security from obtaining it, as well as a loss of business revenue, payroll taxes, and state sales tax. Please keep in mind that I am competing with other businesses that do not have these requirements and can immediately employ persons the same day with paid on-the-job training. We are all attempting to hire from the same labor pool, but for that same...
I'm sorry, hold on a second, Mr. Ferris. There we go. We needed to mute some people. You may have been muted too, so you need to unmute yourself.
Okay, how's that?
Sorry about that. That's better. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I will continue. For someone who come work for me, they must front approximately $200, an unpaid day of training, and wait approximately 8 weeks or more for a paycheck. SB 370 would allow me to immediately employ persons that have completed security guard training, pass a state police background check, and pass a private background check that is conducted for all my new hires. Please support this bill for those seeking employment, those seeking to hire, and those seeking security for their businesses, schools, and personal properties. I would also, if time allows, Representative Horn, you asked a question concerning the history of this. There was a change to this procedure in 2018. If I can expand on that, if my time allows.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You're reaching the 3-minute mark. So
Why
if you can summarize.
we'll handle that in a question, Mr. Ferris. So I appreciate you flagging that. Did you finish your summary though?
I did, thank you.
Okay. So I will take you up on your invitation and ask you to please explain what happened in 2018 with the licensure process.
Absolutely. I have been listening, and I want to take advantage of adding to that conversation. So prior to 2018, a person who wanted to become a security guard would take the training. They go up to special licensing and firearms. They pay their fees. They get fingerprinted. They get photographed. The special licensing and firearms would do an instant background check on them, and then they would issue them their security guard license. As soon as they left special license and firearms, we would be able to hire them and put them to work that day. In 2018, there was a change. Don't quote me on this, but I believe a security guard in Florida got involved in a major incident, which was the reason for this change, but they changed it to the system that we have now. So that is the historical change in 2018. Ideally, I would like to go back to the old system prior to 2018, but SB 370 for me, Representative, would and all the security companies in the state would be a game changer.
Thank you. So you mentioned in your testimony that you're competing against other businesses who could do this same day. Is that businesses in other states, businesses with different licensure? Could you explain that a little bit?
Yes, Representative, what I meant by that is I literally have had to turn down people that have come in my office. They have their guard card, they applied. I just don't have a site for them where they would be with a second guard. So I've had to tell them to please come back in 8 weeks. They walk out of my office, they go to Stop and Shop, they go to Amazon, they go to wherever, the deli down the street, they can start working that day in another industry. So that's what I meant by that. I do believe in the training. I believe in the background checks, absolutely. We're just asking respectfully for a change that I can put that guard on site after training, after registration with backgrounds. I conduct my own backgrounds through a third-party vendor. I will supervise those people. And then if there's a problem with their background, then the state police would have pulled their license. So that is similar to the bill that's being proposed now.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Ferris? Representative Scott.
Thank you. Thank you very much. In all transparency, Dave Ferris is a constituent of mine and brought this issue to my attention. So I did have a question or two for Dave just to get some additional clarification on the situation. Dave, when we talked previously, you'd mentioned that there was multiple times you had to turn down employment for people, right? People just wouldn't accept the job for whatever reason because they couldn't wait that 3-6 months to accept the job. I mean, I understand you can't give me a specific number, but can you just expound on that a little bit to know how many jobs we're potentially people are losing? They're not able to get jobs when they're actually out there for you.
Representative Scott, thank you very much for all your help in this. To answer your question, it is weekly where I am turning someone down or having them come back to me and say, please come back in 8 weeks. There have been times, as we discussed previously, where I was literally on the phone with a construction owner who wanted security that night because of catalytic converters or vandalism. That's been part of this testimony today as well. I literally have been on the phone with someone saying no and had someone in my office looking for a job, and I've had to tell them both no. SB 370 would change that. So like I said, this is a game changer, and I appreciate all your work on this.
Yeah, I think this accomplishes so many different things along with getting more business revenue for businesses, but also helping with safety and security that's going on in a lot of these towns and cities. I think this little change could potentially make a huge difference. So I appreciate you bringing it to my attention. I didn't know the issue was existing, so I'm glad that I can help out in little ways to try to bring this to a public hearing so we can all kind of understand a little bit better. So thanks for
Thank you. And the labor pool is slowly increasing, so this would be phenomenal for us. I have seen an increase in people looking for work. I just want to, with all of your assistance, we can get through this one little issue. It would help us a lot, the whole state.
Thank you. That's all I have. Thank you.